touchdown passes on there.
Oh yeah, he's a good video gamer over here.
Tell of like the decade at school. No one's gonna top that.
We'll put it in a.
Yeah, he's one of our chief residents. He's a very good doctor.
All right, squeeze. Ouch. You got strong hands too.
That was the picture that was texted to me when I was playing tennis. It certainly caught my attention. I was amazed that he was alive, let alone awake and talking. This is passing 6 inches through the face, just underneath the skull, all the way to the back of the neck. This is, can you play this? If it missed the critical structures like the brain itself, the eye, the spinal cord, which it had to have been if he was awake and talking to us, we were most worried about the blood vessels in the brain. Can you play that again there, Jeremy? See, this is the carotid artery in the brain. And then let's see the next picture. Should be, that's the same one.
Yeah.
This is the vertebral artery. So these are two critical blood vessels that go to the brain. They essentially supply that entire half of the brain. And this thing is immediately adjacent to them. So we were very worried about significant vessel injury. If this was a millimeter closer, it probably would have been unsurvivable injury if it poked right through the carotid. But it went right next to it and right next to the vertebral artery.
He has been so brave through this because they needed time to find everybody that they needed, and he just stayed still. He was just, I mean, a lot of the hours they had, over on the ambulance ride, they had wrapped his face because, you know, they needed to keep it just so it wouldn't move. They didn't know how it was lodged in there, so he couldn't see. His nose was covered, you know, and still just not panicking. He never once reached to grab for it, you know.
He was really calm. He, in the middle of the night, he would wake up and he would just sing, start singing, ask me to turn on music, and he would sing his favorite worship songs and sing about God's reckless love.
So at the end of all of it, the number of people involved was very substantial. But the most impressive thing about the story is how this thing could pass so deep through that part of the body and not hit something critical. I don't know how the kid could be so lucky. This view shows here the entry site just underneath the eye in the cheekbone. And then if you swing it around to the back, it went through this little channel, bypassing every vessel along the way. That's 1 in a million.
You the whole time, because it's a miracle that that did not hit anything, didn't hit your brain.
I was so afraid when I took one off. I didn't know what to do, so I just crushed it and went up in the bottom.
Baby, you're so brave.